Yeah, I'll react to that, sure.
And Europe have an ocean between.
Guys, cool video title, interesting. Hi, how are you? Sorry. Good. Great, I hope. Suki, I'm subscribed, which means I've watched a video before and appear to have liked it. 5 American animals versus 5 European animals. Who would win? Preemptive like. The link to the original video from Suki here. To Suki. Top of the description, Discord below that. Love to have you. Let's go.
They both have species that are. Although North America and Europe have an ocean between them, they both have species that are closely related to each other. This is because North America used to be connected to Asia and Europe through the Bering Land Bridge. Many different species could travel across this area freely, and this is just one of the many reasons why North American animals and European animals are closely related to each other. In this video I will be comparing animals from both of these areas, and estimating which one would win in a fight. I'll be going through 5 species from Europe, and 5 species from North America.
I don't think you guys are gonna win on the bear front. I'm correct me if I'm wrong. I think we have the biggest bears in the world in the kind of Alaskan archipelago, if you want to call it, brown bears.
And we'll start off with the European badger. Now this striking creature is native to almost all of Europe and has a very large stable population. Because of the lack of large animals in the UK, the European badger is actually the UK's largest land predator and is one of the best well-known British species. In the wild they live an omnivorous lifestyle, but predator, and is one of the best well-known British species.
So you guys don't have coyotes or any type of like smaller wolf?
In the wild, they live an omnivorous lifestyle, both taking a liking to plant matter and small creatures. During the day, badgers mostly spend their time underground, in their burrows which are called setts. Although some European badgers like to spend their life on their own, most European badgers are social animals. They can live in groups of up to 25 members, but their social behaviour is largely dictated by the availability of food. But this striking mammal also has a North American counterpart, the American badger. Even though this species has a similar appearance to the European badger, they are not closely related. The American badger is
It does look a bit beefier
for being a little meaner than the European badger and lives a more solitary lifestyle. They live life slightly on the more carnivorous side and predominantly feed on smaller mammals such as gophers, squirrels and prairie dogs. Because of this diet they're found in more open areas and are typically found around grasslands and prairies. To be able to get at their prey they are impressive diggers and spend most of their time looking for burrows of small animals. But even though the American badger has a very mean reputation, they are slightly smaller than the European badger.
Really?
The European badger can reach a length of around a meter and weighs 17 kilograms, whereas the American badger maxes out at around 75 centimeters with a weight of 15 kilograms. So for this round, I think it's 1-0 for the European creature.
Interesting. I would imagine the American would be a bit more maybe aggressive, but maybe I guess it's just because of the fur kind of sticking out on the sides more in the American badger that it just looked larger to me.
Our next creature is the Eurasian otter. Now this semi-aquatic mammal is native to large parts of Eurasia and is the most widely distributed member of the otter subfamily. These otters have webbed feet and this makes them impressive swimmers. They can mostly be found in freshwaters where they're usually seen munching on fish. Although they're mostly seen as freshwater animals, the Eurasian otter can be found on the coast where it's more than happy to try a bit of seafood. In many parts of Europe it is the top freshwater predator, but in recent years it's had more competition. The American mink is invasive over large parts of Europe, and in most cases directly competes with the Eurasian otter. This along with habitat loss, overfishing and hunting.
Okay, no shot it took it down. That fish is as big as it is.
Cases directly competes with the Eurasian otter.
Bigger.
This along with habitat loss, overfishing and hunting have led to this otter being threatened in some areas. Luckily for these otters, they are much loved creatures and many people are dedicated to helping them. Unfortunately, this wasn't the case for the extinct Japanese otter, which was considered to be a subspecies of the Eurasian otter. But as I'm sure many of you know, there is also a famous otter in North America named the North American river otter. Now this otter only lives on the North American continent, but lives a very similar lifestyle to the Eurasian otter.
It looks so cute cute when they're eating.
Slightly more to choose from when it comes to food in North America, because as well as fish, they are also known to take down large numbers of turtles and crayfish. These otters are known for being extremely playful, and juveniles can often be seen chasing each other. Although this may look like just fun, it helps them improve their skills of catching fish. Now, it can be very hard to tell these two otter species apart. The North American river otter has a shorter neck, and generally has a longer tail compared to its body. The Eurasian otter is the only otter in much of its range, and also tends to be a little larger. They can reach a maximum length of around 1.4 meters, and reach a maximum weight of around 24 kilograms. The American river otter, on the other hand, has a maximum length of around 1.1 meters, and maxes out at around 15 kilograms. So although both these animals are very lovable, that now makes it 2-0 to Europe.
Okay, guys, I think in the bison and bear front, we're gonna close the gap here.
But our next two species are both the Eurasian brown bear and the grizzly bear.
Okay, well, why? Why not use the American brown bear? Okay, come on. If we lose this category, I'm gonna be upset. I think the grizzly bear is smaller than the American brown bear. I am 90%, 80% sure, 90% sure.
Eurasian brown bear is the most common subspecies of brown bear and is found throughout much of Eurasia. They feed on a wide range of foods, eating various different types of plant matter such as berries, and also targeting the largest mammals and fish. Their size and power makes them very dangerous, and it's best to keep your distance from these bears. In North America, an average of 2 people a year are killed by bears. In Scandinavia, there's only been 3 fatalities from bear attacks in the last century, which makes it seem like Eurasian brown bears are less aggressive. Unfortunately, the truth is not as simple as this, as many other factors affect the frequency of bear attacks. In Romania in late 2019, brown bears were responsible for killing 3 men in just over a month. The cause of these attacks are sometimes desperation, because when we decrease the habitat of these bears, there's less food to go around, and they are forced into highly populated areas. But famously, this bear also has a North American cousin, the grizzly bear. Although grizzly bears are known for being fearsome predators, some grizzlies can be surprisingly small. On the eastern slopes of Alberta, some adult grizzlies are known to be even smaller than black bears. They vary in size from area to area, mostly due down to competition and food availability. But when it comes down to maximum sizes, the grizzly bear can grow a lot larger than the Eurasian brown bear, as the European bears max out around 2.5 meters and weigh 480 kilograms.
Okay, yeah. Oh wait, that's still large. It's kilograms.
Grizzly bears can reach a height of around 2.7 meters and weigh 770 kilograms. So don't call it a comeback. But North America has clawed one back.
Guys, I do want to be that guy actually. The grizzly bear, look, okay? American brown bear height. I thought they could get taller. Knife. Okay, sorry. That's an L for me. And a win for them. Okay, correct. All right, my bad.
So
correct, as if I'm like a...
Call it a comeback. But North America has clawed one back.
Come on,
but
Bison.
Our next 2 animals are both the European...
We win. All right, make it 2-2.
Bison and the American bison. Now, I've been through both of these creatures many times on this channel before, as they're not only very similar in appearance, but throughout their history they've had a very similar story. During the early years of the 20th century, European bison were once hunted to near extinction. They were only saved because they had small captive populations, and these populations were bred and then released back into the wild. This bison is the heaviest wild land animal in Europe, and is only ever targeted by the largest of predators. In most cases, these predators were humans, wolves, and bears, but the 2 latter species are now rare in most of their distribution. The only other living species of bison in the world is found in North America, and it's definitely the more famous of the bison species. It's one of the most iconic animals of America's grasslands, but just like the European bison, it was once threatened with extinction. A combination of commercial hunting and slaughter in the 19th century, along with the introduction of bovine diseases, almost wiped out these iconic mammals. They had a population of around 60 million in the late 18th century, but the species was down to just 541 animals in 1889. This is one of the most devastating wild animals animal slaughters in the whole of human history, but luckily today they have made a comeback. Now both of these giants are very similar in size, with the European bison being slightly taller at the shoulder with a height of around 2.1 meters compared with the American bison's 2 meters.
Tell me we're heavier.
The American bison can be a lot heavier, with a max weight of around 1,200 kilograms compared to the European bison's 920 kilograms.
Give us the win.
Although the European bison is taller, I think the American bison wins this round, and it's 2-2 going into the last two.
Let's go. What's the last one gonna be? An eagle?
Animals. Now there are 8 subspecies of
moose. Freaking huge, guys. I've seen moose in the wild. I remember we were going into like upper Alaska where like no one lives. More moose than people. Okay, upper Alaska, upper Maine. Okay, more moose than people. And we originally pulling into the campsite. It was one of the more remote campsites. Saw a female moose, adult moose, drinking water from a river. Pretty large, but you know. And then later that day, it was getting dark. We were setting up our tent. It was like twilight, but you could still see. And a male moose, 20 meters away, 30 meters away maybe, starts not even full sprint, but just galloping down towards the river. Kind of tangential. I'll never forget this. It just, because I've never seen an animal so big in the wild, where it was just like, you know, when a four-legged animal runs, like 1 gallop, 2 gallop, 3 gallop, like kind of, it went so far. Like it, hands down the largest animal I've seen in the wild. I've seen black bears in the wild. I've seen, yeah, just a male adult moose is so large. It's hard to believe. Unless you've seen like an elephant or a giraffe or something like that.
Today, some of them living in North America and the rest living in Europe and Asia. Moose are the largest and heaviest extant species in the deer family, and truly are one of the largest land mammal species alive today. Unlike other species of deer, they tend to live a solitary lifestyle and tend to enjoy life in thick forests and around wetland areas. Despite their size, they are impressive swimmers and are very happy in marshes and wetlands. Their size gives them protection against most predators, and even wolves and bears will only really attack juveniles and sick individuals.
Yeah. No shot. You are attacking, and the one I saw was a big one. Like, there's no way a bear is taking down that thing. I'm sorry. You can be a large bear. First of all, you have to catch it, and then you have to kill it, which I just don't see it possible.
Aren't the big,
like, if you live that long,
threats to moose, as they have a much smaller threat to worry about. Brainworms are parasites contracted from eating snails, and the larvae of these worms find their way to the moose's brain. This causes neurological damage and has led to a worrying decline in moose numbers. Millions of dollars have been poured into helping these animals, and hopefully they'll be able to bounce back in the future. But when it comes down to size, the American subspecies tend to be a little larger than the European ones, as they can reach a height of around 2.1 meters at the shoulder and weigh 700 kilograms. Compared to a height at the shoulder of 2 meters and a weight of 600 kilograms. So overall, it looks like the American species have come back to win this round, and they've won the competition overall.
Yes.
I know this flag doesn't include the whole of North America, and this one doesn't really represent Europe, but it was easier than putting up all the individual flags in this video. If you want me to
sometimes do the same in thumbnails.
Style of video with any other continents, then let me know down in the comments below. But thanks for...
I mean, Africa is gonna demolish any continent. Yeah, maybe not in venomous stuff. Maybe Australia will beat it out.
I hope you enjoyed. If you liked it, please leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like these. But until next time, goodbye.
Cool video. Let me know, guys, in the comments what you think. If they should have included other animals to compare between US and Europe. And if you think the outcome was correct in your opinion. Love to see it. Hope you guys are all doing well. Really do. And I'll see you next time. Bye, guys. See you next video.